Is it? Is it 10 o'clock yet? I don't even know. Come here. You are so far away. Why are you over there? Okay. 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 It's not quite 10 yet. We're not started yet. We're not started yet. If you're here in the chat, hang on. Almost ready. Okay. I got my thing. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Yay. Hi, I'm Michelle from Unicorn Centaur. Obviously, this is my YouTube channel. Hi, and you're here. Or you're not. I hope you're here, though. If you're watching this on a playback, if you're watching this on the playback, this is a live stream, and so I'm chatting with people live. You can leave comments if you want, but this is not like an edited fancy video or anything like that. So anyway. Well, I guess it's a fancy video. Anyway. So here I am. Yes, and turn it down, Michelle. Thank you. So tonight, oh my gosh, I just said hi. I'm Michelle from Unicorn Centaur. Tonight, I am deconstructing a saddle pad. Emily is here. Hey, I'm deconstructing a saddle pad tonight. There was in my Facebook group, Extra Equestrians, someone posted a month or two ago a custom saddle pad with that was in the shape of dragon wings, and everybody went nuts, and we got like 1,000 new members in the group. Oh, thank you. I love you too. Anyway, the dragon wing saddle pad, and everyone's like, I want one, and I can't afford like $200 for a custom saddle pad. So I thought I would try to make it myself. Now, watch me. Having said that, I'll spend almost $200 in supplies, but still. And my ponies. Aw, I know my ponies. I didn't go visit them today, so I'm having a little bit of like pony withdrawal. I don't know if I can. There's a thread on my hot chocolate. My husband Scott made me hot chocolate. It's like all dripping all over the mug. But I think it's still too hot to drink. Okay. That is a really full hot chocolate. I predict disaster. So let me show you. This is like a normal saddle pad. What we're doing tonight's live stream is pretty much deconstructing a saddle pad, taking it all apart. One of the ways to make a pattern of something is to take apart another thing and like make copies of all the parts and label it. And then now you've got a pattern, and then we're going to fix it from there. This is the one I really want to take apart. I haven't done it yet. Oh, these are stars we put on in a live stream like a year and a half ago, I swear. I never did anything else with it. But I want to take this one apart and use this one as a pattern because it has a slightly different shape than the one I actually did start taking apart. So I started taking apart an old Dover saddle pad. This one's a little bit smaller and has a little bit more of a dressage pad or like a square pad shape. I don't want to use that one. This one has more of a contour line on the spine, and it has a little bit of a more of a shape that I want in the front. So I'm actually going to use that one for the pattern, but I wanted to use this one to demo. So this is only half of a saddle pad. I took the other half apart. And I'm gonna show the layers of what we are doing. This is obviously still put together. Most saddle pads have, this white is called piping. If you are a sewer or a crafter and I'm telling you something you already know, please forgive me. This is for anyone who's watching who like has no idea what I'm talking about. So pretty basic. This edging is usually made of bias tape, and you can purchase that in the store. You can make it yourself from fabric, but it's a pain in the butt. It's like measuring and cutting out long strips of fabric. So you can buy it in packages at fabric store or Walmart. Oh, you know what? Let's go over. Oh, no, let's still talk about it. So there's that. Then this is another piece of bias tape that goes down the spine of the pad. And then there are layers. This part right here, here's paint from another live stream. There are the nylon straps and keepers that keep your saddle in place. And that's pretty much a saddle pad. So I took the other half apart. First of all, this is what the bias tape looks like for anyone who doesn't know. This comes apart. This is the piping. So the round part is on the edge, and then you stitch that into the seam. The bias tape is like, I don't know if you can see it with this color fabric. You see it's folded over on the ends. You can actually fold it out. So all of that gets like folded over. And then that goes along the spine, and this connects the two halves of the saddle pad. So then it's almost like a book. And then the bias tape is the spine. There's bias tape around here. And then the piping, you can also put some sort of fancy edging in here if you want. And then the pads themselves are quilted. So here's what it looks like when you completely take it apart. Here's what the layers were like. This took me way longer than I wanted it to this afternoon. Excuse me. Do Western saddle pads. You know, I don't have a Western saddle, and I don't ride with a Western saddle, so I'm not as familiar. This is why I'm deconstructing an English one. Pretty much it's a layer. What we're going to be making eventually is a layer of batting, which is what is used in quilting. It's sort of like a layer of polyfill stuffing, but very, very light. And then 2 layers of cotton fabric and sort of sandwich that. So Tabitha's here. Hey, Tabitha, I forgot to tag you. I knew I was forgetting someone important. I hate that. My brain just does a little. I need to keep a tag list of who wants to be tagged. You know what? That's a good idea. I need to make a post in the Facebook group. Who wants to be tagged in live streams? And then I can make like a master list. All right. So here are the 2 ends. So there are 2 pieces like this, and then this is what the batting is. So it's like you can see through it, and it's just like a thin layer of stuffing, pretty much. And it's light enough that it's not like a thick layer for a sewing machine to go through. This is another thing I should talk about. My sewing machine is an inexpensive model, so it pretty much does like straight stitch and zigzag, and it can't handle a whole lot of layers of fabric. I think we broke a needle on the live stream where I was trying to sew fabric onto a saddle pad that already existed, and there were too many layers, and my machine was like, no, it was making these groaning noises. So this, you can see it's in the shape of the saddle pad as well. So actually, let me layer this up like a little sandwich so I can show you what it was. So there's that, and then this layer on top. And then this saddle pad had an additional foam layer, and this is sort of like, I don't know, like car headliner or I don't know, something. It feels god awful when you're like touching it. It's got a yucky plasticky texture to it. And I feel like my machine needles, my sewing machine needles would get gummed up in something like this. But there was another layer. As you can see, I got a little aggressive with the seam ripping today. Okay. Hang on. Yes, it's gross. I'm weird about textures, like touching textures. It took me so many years before I could actually like wash dishes that had wet food or whatever in them. But like fabrics, if a fabric feels like kind of sticky or plasticky or I'm like, no. Okay. So this is roughly, so see, you put all the little layers together. So when we make our own patterns, we're going to make pattern pieces from pretty much this piece right here is what we'll make our big pattern piece for. But then when we eventually construct it, we're going to make the layers and then stitch it all together. These panels will be made and then put the others together. Anyway, so that's how the pad is made. Yay! Let me put this off to the side for a second and see if my hot chocolate, can I hot chocolate? Can I? How hot is it? Am I going to burn my tongue live on YouTube? Oh my God. No, I'm fine. Oh my God, there's a lot of hot chocolate powder in there. This is very sweet. Okay, wow. Okay. Sorry, I shouldn't be all slurpy. This is the ASMR portion of the live stream. So now let me talk about if you're custom making a saddle pad, or if you're custom making anything for your horse. First of all, you are going to need to write it down. I'm terrible at this. If you know me personally, or if you followed the live streams before, you know I'm not a measure twice, cut once person. I'm just a cut. I'm just a eyeball it and cut it. Just go. And a lot of times the stuff I make ends up really messed up because of it. I make a lot of mistakes. Learn from them. But I have a Born to be a Unicorn notebook that I am writing down. As you can see, I've got a fly bonnet pattern that I was adapting from another fly. Like I had a pattern for a fly bonnet that I was crocheting. I didn't like the way the pattern turned out, so I made adaptations to it. And I've got all of my notes written down here. That is the only page that has been used in the book. Actually, there's some pretty basic math on the next page. Let me just erase that. Okay, I got new pencils. New pencils. New pencils make me feel fancy. All right, I think I need to take that spoon out. That's a large spoon. It is very large. Okay. So let me get to my page, and we're going to do saddle pad, and we're making a pattern. I'm making a pattern for a dragon wing saddle pad. We're not going to get all this done tonight, by the way. If you're here thinking that we're going to have a made saddle pad at the end of this, no. Today we are talking about taking apart a saddle pad to show what components we need to have there, then how to make a pattern from it, and then not next time, I think, but the next time. Coming up soon, we're going to talk about what to do with those pieces, and how to do the math and to know how much fabric of whatever you need. Anyway, so saddle pad custom. So you're going to need cotton fabric. Oh, let me plug my iron in, because to make the pattern, we want to iron the pieces. See how, because this has been stitched and quilted, this has all these little wrinkles in it. It makes a slight difference. So when I make pattern pieces from existing fabric pieces, I like to iron it first and trim up any thread edges before we go any further. Did I just sort of do a weird little awful dab? Okay. That's hot. Okay. Color and listen to me rant. I love your picture you showed me earlier. Hey, Kelly's here. Kelly, I am aspiring to be as matchy as you are. We're making that dragon wing saddle pad today. Not today, but I'm starting the process today. Oh, my iron. I'm getting off track. What? Nothing. Scott? Yeah. Will you bring me a white towel, one of those white towels?
I will.
Someone spilled their drink.
Oh, yeah? One of the people online?
Yeah.
Weird. It's
okay,
nice of you to wipe it up for
that
them.
One is, yes, perfect. I'm going to put a towel on my floor for no reason. At least I didn't spill the hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's a win.
It would not be a live stream if I did not spill something or do something. What is going on with my lights? Why are they not being good to me? Do you need to come forward? What's wrong with you? Are you being weird? Okay, pardon me. Is that better at all? I don't know. All right. Yes, Tabitha, it was your cup. Right. There's a little bit left. Hang on. It's all over the floor. You guys. Hannah's here. Hey. Yes, I'm gonna make a dragon wing saddle pad. And if I was busy plugging in my iron. Okay. I'm not even drinking wine tonight, y'all. What in the world? Okay, I have my iron plugged in. Teet. I'm going to iron the fabric, but I'm also going to iron the paper that I use to make the pattern. For this is cotton fabric. It may have a little bit of polyester in it, but cotton fabric, all natural fabrics like wool or linen, linen and cotton, natural fabrics are higher temperatures on your iron. You will burn artificial fabrics on your fire with your iron. So if this was like silk or rayon or a fancy $40 a yard cosplay fabric, God, if it was one of those, I would probably put down a cloth over it before I iron. But anyway, so we're trying to iron out the little wrinkles here, and I may even like turn you guys this way, even though there's like, is there stuff in the corner? So you can see me ironing, because you know you want to watch a middle-aged woman iron something live on YouTube. This is excitement, kids. So this is what I use to make patterns with. Hopefully it's big enough. If not, I'm gonna scotch tape it together. This is like packing paper from Walmart. You can also use butcher paper that is sold in big rolls. You can also, you know, I don't know, do they make, I guess tissue paper. It's so thin though, like tissue paper, you get regular store-bought patterns. I don't like that. So anyway, I make this out of this like newspaper. And when you are ironing paper, obviously you're going to put your iron on a low setting. Right. So this is one I want to deconstruct a little bit and see what the layers in this one look like. Because in that one, I found a layer of weird foam that I hate. Okay. Oh, we got to wait for it to warm up a minute. What am I even doing? Okay. So while my iron is warming up, I want to write down the supplies I'm going to need. Cotton fabric, polyester batting, bias tape. I'm going to put bias tape spine and bias tape edges in case those are two different things. And then nylon webbing, which is what the guards are. I'm so disorganized, and now everything on the floor has like imitation crystal light on it. These things, the billet keepers and the girth keeper down here, this is made of a nylon webbing. Oh, and there's Velcro on it. So nylon webbing, and what is this? That's not an inch, is it? Okay. No, this is 3/4 inch. 3/4 inch nylon webbing. Welcome to my creative process. Welcome to my studio. Hanging out with me and creating things with me is just like this. Okay, cotton fabric, polyester batting, bias tape for the spine, bias tape for the edges, 3/4 inch nylon webbing. Now, I may need more bias tape than that to make the wing, is it metatarsals? No, it's the metacarpals of the bat wings, of the dragon wings, the fingers of the dragon wings. You know what I'm talking about. So I may need more than that. So that's what I have written that down. Oh, did I write down Velcro? No, I didn't. Velcro. So is this 3/4 inch Velcro? Yes. 3/4 inch Velcro. Or hook and loop closure if you don't want to use the brand name. Okay, 3/4 inch Velcro. You go over there, you go over here, you go in my mouth. Ah, we had a click on the iron. It's warm. So only time I get to see you. Oh, I know. We have to hang out. When am I going to the barn again? If you're off Friday, we can go. I've got to film a video Friday if you want to come help me out. I don't know. Hannah, totally want to watch you iron. Hannah, I'm sorry you couldn't hang out. If you're not here anymore, child. And I'm sitting here like I just watched myself scratch my nose on the playback. Y'all, that's ugly. Hang on. Am I standing up? What am I going to show on myself if I stand up? Oh my Lord. Okay. So here I am. All right. I've got this up fairly high. If you are, here's an ironing tip though. These are pretty ingrained wrinkles in here, and they may not come out. Like if something is manufactured and it has manufacturer's wrinkles or lines, one trick is to spray vinegar water. If you dilute vinegar water, either a quarter vinegar to 1 part water or half and half, and spray it on there, and then iron, the vinegar pulls those wrinkles out. Although these are coming out nicely. That's kind of satisfying, actually. Why don't I iron more? Why did I never notice how zen ironing is? Oh my God, you guys. Also, does everybody hear the police car in the background? Welcome to my neighborhood. Also, it's January and I have the windows open. That is how crazy. It was like 80 something degrees today, and it's been that way for almost a week. And it's going to be like that until like next Monday or Tuesday. Like, what? Oh, another thing I forgot to mention here. Let me sit down so we can see each other. Another thing I forgot to mention. Oh my God, what was I going to say? Hang on. Dang it. I'm not drinking wine, but usually when Adriana and I would do tack chat, when I would forget what we were talking about is when I would take a drink of wine. So today it's hot chocolate. Do not approve of the heat. I actually like the weather, but like, it makes me worry. I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. Gosh darn it. It was important. Why don't I write everything down? Why am I like this? Why am I like this, y'all? It was something I was going to remind people to do. Like if you're making a pattern, you need, take pictures. Thank you. I haven't done this because I'm an idiot and I'm really good at telling people what to do and then not doing it myself. Don't judge me. But take pictures of your process. For example, I am ironing this so well, like I'm doing so good. 10-10 would iron again. I'm doing so well that I am actually ironing out the marks that were made with the keepers. Like these things that hold the saddle in place were stitched into there so hardcore that you could see it. I'm like, oh, I don't have to mark that when I'm, I'll just transfer it when I make the pattern. But I don't think I'll be able to notice it. So I'm going to have to either measure off an existing piece. But another way you can prevent that, forgetting how things were, is to take pictures of your process along the way. Take pictures of the saddle pad before you take it apart. Take pictures of when it's halfway apart. Take pictures of the layers. Take pictures of every bit of your process, because you never know. I always do this like when I've gotten a new bridle and I'm cleaning it for the first time. I will take a picture of it all put together so I'll remember how it was. I used to have to do that when we did tack chat too, when I would be cleaning bridles, because I knew I'd be getting drunk, and by the time we were done I wouldn't remember how the bridle went together. Adriana would laugh at me trying to like figure out how to do the brow band. Okay. So now we've got a nice pretty piece. Yay! So that one, now I'm going to turn the iron all the way down to like 1, and we're going to give it a few minutes to cool down. It's got to count to 10. It's got to think about what it did, and it needs to gather its thoughts and come back when it's in a place of love, or when it's cooled down to warm. Okay, so then I'm going to take one piece of paper, and this is what we're going to iron next, because we are going to trace out a pattern. Oh, I am already seeing problems because this does not cover the whole thing. I'm going to have to iron at least 2 pieces of paper. Turds. All right, fine. Fine, whatever. Whatever, I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it emotionally. If you don't have one of these, get one. Also, this one is super long. All equestrians should have one of these. I use it to measure my horse's girth so I can estimate their weight. SmartPack has a weight calculator online. If you want to know how much your horse weighs, you can take the body measurement from the point of the shoulder to the butt and then all around the heart girth and enter that info with like how old your horse is, I think. And SmartPack will calculate how much your horse weighs. And it's approximate, but the calculator they have adds in the body length, which affects weight. So it's a little bit more of an accurate calculator for those who are interested in how much your horse weighs. Tabitha, you should measure Cinder and find out how much she weighs. We need to know. This is important. All right. Taylor's here. Hey. Finishing up some online assignments. Aw. How much more do you have to go, Taylor? I don't know. So my apologies if that's an irritating question. Okay, while I'm waiting for that to cool down, if we put the iron on our paper too soon, it will burn the paper, and we don't want that. Taylor, I'm making a pattern today, and I'm at the point where I have ironed the way I'm making a pattern is to deconstruct a saddle pad and then sort of make the pattern pieces from there. So I'm going to make a paper pattern piece, and then after I made the paper pattern piece for the regular saddle pad, then I can have my paper pattern piece out and I can look at what I would like to do to make it into a dragon wing. Then I'm going to adapt it. So I'm actually going to make two pattern pieces, like a normal one and then a regular dragon wing one. I think that's what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm kind of making this up. Welcome to how I live my life. One way to make patterns is to take measurements and then simply plot it out on a piece of graph paper with all of your measurements to scale. Another way is sloping or draping a pattern directly onto your horse, which is taking some kind of fabric, like a cheap cotton fabric, and then pinning it up on your horse where you want things to be, marking it with chalk and pins, and then taking it apart and stitching it together like that. And then you sort of make a paper mock-up or a fabric mock-up of what you're doing. Now, if you've got the funds, I recommend doing a mock-up of whatever custom saddle pad you're doing. I might have some extra fabric of some kind that I can make a mock-up of this, which I really need to. What a mock-up tells you is whether or not your measurements are correct. Because in a costume shop in a theater, a lot of times the actors are in another room rehearsing and you can just call someone in and check something. But like my horses are boarded at a stable 30 miles away. So I can't exactly go and check if my design is going to fit Sunny. I need to, but making a mock-up, then I could take it to the barn and it's sort of like a fake or cheap version of it, usually made out of muslin, which is like an off-white plain cotton fabric, like often used to make undergarments and stuff in period costumes. Excuse me, that was a hot chocolate burp. Oh my gosh, Taylor, it's coming up. It's coming up. It's happening. Are you excited or terrified? Or both? Okay. Maybe, Taylor, once you're finished with your studies, then you'll have more time to play in the live stream, doing your whatever projects you want to be doing. Because I like you here in our live stream. Okay, I do want to deconstruct this a little bit during our live stream today, but first let me focus on pattern. I wonder if this is cool enough. That still feels super hot. I'm gonna rethinking my life choices. I'm gonna put the iron on the paper and see what happens. We're about to see if it's too hot. Okay, nothing burned and my house is not on fire. I think I can do this now. So let me do this and let me bring you guys back over here. And we're going to iron paper. Come watch the nice lady iron paper on YouTube, kids. Okay. Okay. But we don't want you all the way down on my legs. That's not nice. Okay, so when you're ironing paper, it's not like ironing fabric. You just need to do a quick little hang over it because you don't want it to be there so long. Now, if your iron is super low, then it may not get the wrinkles out. But if it starts wrinkling and puckering underneath what you're doing, you may have the iron too hot. It also might scorch the paper a little bit. So, and you can feel the paper when it's done. So now I have a nice clean sheet. Let's compare. Wait, where did my other, oh, here it is. Okay. So here we go. There's the unironed paper, and see how it doesn't even hold a shape. And this one lays nice and flat. So we'll be able to lay this flat and trace out a nice pattern shape on that. And you can't even see my face right now. This is the best live stream ever. Okay, actually, I can do this sitting down, can't I? Why aren't I? Okay. This is a weird ironing position, though. Like if you make a lot of costumes or sew a lot to have the iron way up here, it's just super awkward. Okay. Okay. And this is so, you know what? Ironing paper is so satisfying. That reminds me, y'all know when like rich people, well, I guess rich people still had butlers, but when rich people still had butlers and people got newspapers delivered, that used to be a thing, like ironing the morning paper for the rich guy having breakfast. Okay, so now I have 2 iron pieces of paper. I should just iron another piece to make everyone's life easy, just in case I need it, because I'm going to have to piece together this pattern. I'm gonna have to piece my pattern. Okay, one more wrinkly sheet of paper. Yeah, hang on, I need a sip of hot chocolate before. There are still marshmallows in here, by the way. These are vegetarian marshmallows. They don't have gelatin in them. I have to go to like a fancy pants store like Whole Foods to get them, so that's annoying. But they're so good, and they take forever to melt in hot chocolate. Like regular marshmallows, you put them in, and then you look away and look back, and they're completely melted into your hot chocolate. And you're like, really, why did I bother? But these, like you have marshmallows down to the last sip of your hot chocolate. So good. So good. Spoil yourself. So yeah, you have to go to like a special store, and they cost like 3 times as much as actual regular marshmallows, but they're better. They taste just like regular marshmallows. They have the same texture as regular marshmallows, but they do not melt really fast in hot chocolate. I have not tried, there's big ones, and I haven't tried s'mores, and I have not tried like roasting them on a campfire, so I can't attest to that. Do I want to lay this out up here? Do I even have room? I don't know if I thought this through. Okay. I may not have thought this through correctly, but I mean, hey. Definitely back in the live streams for yes. Yes, and I know, like right before, I'm sure you won't have time for me, like right before your finals and you know, whatever projects you have to do before you can graduate. I mean, do you still have is there final exams at the level you're at? I don't even know. You're beyond my level of education, child. Okay. I might need to, here we go. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can clean up. I just ironed you. I am Iron Man. Okay. I might have enough room up there. No. I need a big cutting table. In the college that I graduated from, Midwestern State University in Texas, Wichita Falls, Texas, the costume shop had a huge, gorgeous cutting table. And it was up a little bit higher than normal cutting tables or normal tables. And that was so much better on everyone's backs. Like you didn't have to really lean over it to cut and measure things. It was amazing. And it was huge. And of course, there were big cutting mats with rolling cutters and stuff. And I was so spoiled. I was so spoiled. Okay. I've got to put all of this stuff over here, all of the layers. So here's my notebook where I'm writing all of the things down. 2 classes with exams, theses for reviews. That is crazy. I can't imagine like grad school. Oh, if you I guess like you could keep these. These are navy blue ones, and I'm not going to be using this saddle pad anymore. So I could always keep this in case I need navy blue girth and billet keepers. And then I'm going to have some blue ones too. But if you keep these, then you don't have to buy like fresh ones. There's a tip. Oh no, my hot chocolate is gone, but I had like 5 marshmallows still in there. It's so good, you guys. It's so good. All right. Can I even with this chair? This chair's like... All right, what am I doing? What are we doing? Come over here. Come here. Where are you? Okay. Crafting hacks with Michelle. Yes. Okay. I may not need this 3rd sheet. You go over here until mommy needs you. No, you go right here. That's better. You won't wrinkle up. Stay there. Behave. Okay. Okay, now this is just in my way. That was really good hot chocolate, though. Get you a man that brings you hot chocolate with marshmallows. All right. Oh, I forgot to say, too, if you don't have a seam ripper to deconstruct a saddle pad, you can use a razor blade. Okay. I may have to do this in pieces. Maybe not. No, look at this. And I'm just gonna... So, do I have tape where I can tape these sheets together? So, okay. Oh no, are my scissors way over there? Hang on, everyone, don't panic. I might have to call Scott again, but then we all get to say hi to Scott. Oh, poot. All I have in here is my fabric scissors, and we are not cutting paper with our fabric scissors. Scott? Yeah. Can you come here?
Yes.
Hi. There's a little pair of blue-handled scissors over there. Will you grab those for me, pretty sheet?
Sure, since you're trapped in there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. So these are like little teeny tiny scissors. Well, I should have asked him for Scotch tape too. Y'all, my life. But maybe I have that right here somewhere. Okay. Do we even like it anymore? No, we don't. We're going to crumble you up and throw you away. All right. I have a Sharpie. I guess I could use a pencil. That's probably better. I'm going to use a pencil. I've changed my mind. I got excited and I was going to use a Sharpie. But I've now seen the error of my ways and I'm going to use a pencil. Do I have, hang on a second. I got to duck under this table because I need to look for tape. I thought I had like a little dollar store thing of tape. Oh no, hold on. Okay, hang on. Don't go anywhere. Be right there. Be right there. Okay, hang on. This is good. This is good. Oh, I found my other scissors. Why isn't there any other kind of tape in here? Ah. Okay. I found duct tape, and this is going to have to work. Everyone's going to enjoy it, or you're all in timeout. Emily's here. Hey, the chair is comfy, but it's kind of sandwiched in here between my desk table and my old sewing machine here. Okay, so I need to tape these pieces of paper together. We are about to make a pattern piece. It's so exciting. I can feel the excitement in the air. I'm actually going to tape the paper down. You know what? That's so smart of me. I'm going to pretend I thought about it beforehand, and it's a tip that I planned on giving you. If you tape the paper to the surface of what you're doing, then it's not going to move around. See, there's a tip that I totally thought of before now and was planning on sharing with you. Okay. I have not decided. I haven't bought fabric for the dragon saddle pad that I'm making, the dragon wing saddle pad. I'm not sure what color it's going to be. I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to end up using. I do plan on using the cotton bias tape. So, like, I don't know if I necessarily want it to be shiny. I can't believe I'm saying that. But, yeah. Oh, I forgot to trim the little edgies. I should trim the edgies. Okay. All right. This was supposed to be Scotch tape. But y'all know how I roll. You're not new. You know how I do this. Or maybe you are new. Welcome. This is how I do this. I'm a mess. There is a tip. My pencil. I'm so sad. Excuse me. Oh, no, never mind. I can reach it. It's fine. Crisis averted. Nobody get upset. So once I make the prototype of the normal looking saddle pad, then I'm going to have like a big piece of paper in this cool shape, but then I can lay it down on another 2 pieces of paper, and then we can modify the shape. Yes. Okay. I believe I have done this. Now let me grab my fabric scissors. The ones that are for fabric. Maybe I have. Do I have a thing of bias tape in here already? Yes, bias tape. These are the kind of, if you're not familiar with them, this is the kind of packaging that bias tape is sold in. You can go to Walmart or Joann Fabric or whatever kind of fabric store you have near you, and it'll be in the same place as like thread and zippers and stuff like that, buttons and whatever. And whatever. So I'm a thread trimmer. I honestly, like, people who don't trim threads drive me insane. If you've ever, I worked with someone in a costume shop once who would never clip her threads at the beginning and end of seams. And it drove me insane because you would pick up something she had been working on and you would, be like, oh, I'm just going to work on this because it's, partway through construction and I can do it easily. And you just pick it up and there's threads all hanging off of it. And I'm like, rage. The things that annoy me. Okay. Try not to move. I've already taped this paper down, so I'm trying not to move the paper at all. I taped down the paper and I forgot I'm going to have to move it up for when I do the bottom part. I'm so precious. I'm so precious. Okay, let's do some left-handed cutting. It'll be all right. It'll probably be all right. That might not be all right. This is awkward. That's all right. Most of my life is awkward. I'm used to it. Okay. Excuse me. Hang on. I'm almost done. Why did you not? Okay. Sorry. I'm having trouble. So now, oh no, maybe I don't. This is almost good. Okay. Now we've got this lovely piece of fabric that we have removed from saddle pad, ironed, trimmed all the doofy little fabric dealies off of it. And so now we're going to just trace the shape of it. Can you still see me? Yes. Come over here. Here we go. We're going to trace the shape of this in a nice little approximation. Sketchy, sketchy. But a good sketchy, not sketchy like you're someone about to rob a convenience store. But sketchy as in, hang on, I need to stand up. Oh my Lord. Hang on, y'all. Oh my God. Thank goodness that cup had already been emptied. Okay. Here we go. This is better. Now this is better. Oh, shh, shh. Okay. Don't move. Okay, we are outlining this. This is happening. Check your edges, make sure everything's still in place. Okay. I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to just go for it and go down here. All right, now I can go back to this. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, obviously, if you have a better table than me, you can just lay this all out. I would recommend either one of the ways you can stabilize the cotton on the paper is either to pin it like with straight pins through the, you can do like I did, the lazy way, which is just to like hold it in place and go around it. But it's really easy that way to make it kind of wonky and then your shape is off. If you want to make sure that this layer doesn't move around on top of the paper while you sketch your shape, you can also use fabric weights, which you can buy, again, at the fabric store. And it's just a little set of weights, and you put like one little weight down on each corner, and that helps keep your fabric in place, or use straight pins. So, there we go. So, I don't think this is big enough to, I'm going to have to make a bigger sheet of paper to make the dragon wing saddle pad. But from here, I can lay it out. Let me just go ahead and cut it out so that we have a thing we're looking at. But let me tape it down the middle first so I can show you what I'm looking at. I just need a bunch of pieces of tape. I need to cut myself some tape. I wish I could find my Scotch tape. Why? Why am I so special and weird? Like sometimes I don't think of stuff until it's too late. Feel slow. I don't know. Maybe that's just because like I'm in the middle of the creative process and I'm trying to talk to people online. I don't know. Brittany! Oh, thanks, Britt. I don't know if anybody can see. Like my hairline is a mess. I just did this color like 2 hours ago and my hairline still has like all the dye in it. Also, they didn't have enough teal hair dye at Sally Hair Supply, so I had to mix it with blue and I'm super annoyed about it. But I feel like I look, when I have my long hair like this and it's this dark, I feel like I look like Tommy Wiseau from The Room. You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Maybe it's when it's more like down on the sides. I don't know. Okay. I will get this tape together eventually, everyone. Are you all like dead in the chat now because all I'm doing is clipping pieces of duct tape? This is such an exciting live stream. So next time, I don't know if we'll get back to the saddle pad next time. I may do a different live stream next time. But the next time we get back to the saddle pad, I will have made the paper version of this. And hopefully we will be, or maybe I'll make the paper version, but we're going to be figuring out how much fabric to get and kind of figuring out what to get. Actually, maybe I'll do that in a blog post. I don't know. Because we need to talk about doing the math. That's the part that nobody likes to do. That's when you have to take measurements and think about like what fabric. It's a good conversation to have, though. We may do a whole live stream just for that. Okay. I don't know why I did that, but I'm going to put that there. Okay. Now I'm going to cut this out. We're cutting out our pattern piece. So I'm just cutting around this pattern piece. I'm not really actually doing it too well. I'll sit here and do it better in a second. Okay, that can go down there with the mess. Now, because I'm cutting directly from what was the saddle pad, this also has seam allowances built into it, which there really aren't any seam allowances in a saddle pad. That's where when you stitch, normally when you stitch two pieces of fabric together, the ends of them have to be folded. You can't stitch right on the very edge. You have to stitch inside a little bit, and that's called the seam allowance. So sometimes when you're making patterns and you're going from something that already exists, you have to add a little bit for a seam. Okay. But we don't have to do that with this particular pattern. Okay. So now I'm just going to cut it out normal. Oh, wait, but I want to, let me actually tape the other side. More tape, more tape. Oh my gosh. So, oh, hey, Ellis. Hey, I have just about got my pattern piece that's made from a saddle pad. This isn't the dragon wing one yet. I'm going to make a dragon wing one. But for now, I'm just making a pattern piece for a regular saddle pad. And then once I have the pattern piece for the regular saddle pad, I will use that on another piece of paper to adapt a dragon wing. But I can adapt anything now from this. Now that I have the shape that works under the saddle, I can use it. I can make it into like a feathered wing, like a Pegasus wing saddle pad. We can do like the bat wing shape to make the dragon wing. I don't even have to do wings for a saddle pad. I could just make crazy scalloped edges or something fun. Or make a regular saddle pad and add some fringe or funky trim on the bottom or something. Square off the edges and then put some sort of cool trim on the bottom. Once you have the template for your pattern, then you can make whatever you want from it. So that's the reason if you're sitting in the chat and you're like, why is she making a regular saddle pad when she's talking about dragon wings? That's because we start here first. And once we have that template, then we can make anything from it. Yes, queen. And I do kind of like, oh no, that didn't go too well. I do kind of like the idea of making like feathered ones, like angel wings. So now I'm going to sit here. Are we at a good angle? Let's see. I saw Elvis was here, so. Brittany, I almost forgot. Oh, what am I doing? Yes, I am making a dragon wing saddle pad. I'm doing a custom saddle pad. For those who are just catching up, I have deconstructed one of my saddle pads. I actually took apart half of it. So this is just like one panel that's left. And this is the bias tape and piping that goes around the edge. And then on the inside, there was this batting and then this foam, which I don't care about. I hate it. So it's going over there. And I'm not putting that in whatever I'm making. But this is going to be one of the things that we have to purchase when we are making our own custom design. So tonight, yes, the dragon wing saddle pad. Tabitha is coloring tonight. Yeah, you don't have to make what I'm making during the crafting live stream. You may want to just get ideas, sit here. hanging out with me, or you may be doing your own thing and we just want to talk about crafting and whatever. Want to talk color scheme. Tabitha's coloring. We can talk color palettes. We can talk colored pencils or markers or whatever you're drawing in and which ones are the best. And this idea came from a post in the Extra Equestrians Facebook group. If you are not in that group, I think most people in the chat tonight are, but if you aren't in the Extra Equestrians Facebook group, there is a link to that in the description box that you can click on there. You have to join and be a member and have a Facebook, you have to have a Facebook page or an account in order to comment on things or to post things in there. But even if you're not on Facebook, you can still click that link and you can go to the group and you can see what kind of things we post. So you can still get inspiration from the group. You just can't interact if you don't have a Facebook account. So if you're like, oh, I want to see the group, but I'm not on Facebook, it is a public group, which means that anybody who searches Facebook can find it. Again, you can't contribute to the group unless you are a member, which means you have to have a Facebook account. But if you just want to see all the things that people post in there, and you want to get some inspiration or ideas, there's a lot of ideas that are shared in there. Anyway, okay. So now what I have here is a pattern piece. I made a pattern piece. So this is my template. I'm going to very quickly tape the top and bottom edges of this. So that is my template. And I think that's just about... I'm not going to do the dragon wing one tonight, but that's going to be my next step, is to make the dragon wing one. And then also I can make anything else. Like I said, I can make angel wings, butterfly wings. It doesn't even have to be wings. It can be something else. Something with a cool bottom edge, something medieval, like with barding along the edge of the bottom. I've done a saddle pad. It's not really a saddle pad. It was more like a cloth to drape over a saddle pad. I should have dragged that out and showed you guys. But it had the barding edge on the bottom. That it's a total pain in the butt. To do any kind of edge like that, to do like triangular edges or scalloped edges or anything like that is a total pain. So when I actually do make, ooh, mosquito, bye. When I actually do end up making the dragon wing saddle pads, the edges of the pad are going to be such a pain. I'm going to hate it. I'm going to be like, oh my God, never mind. It's going to be a rectangle. Okay, so now we have our pattern piece. And oh, that's perfect timing. 2 pet rats, Luna and Ruby. Oh, I saw the picture you sent. I love rats. I used to have pet rats when I was in college. They were named Conrad and Edgar because we were allowed to. I was in like campus apartments, and we were allowed to have pets that could be kept in like a glass aquarium. So it didn't have to be just fish. It could be, you could also have a snake or whatever. So I was going to get a snake, and I went to the pet store and I picked out the big terrarium and I picked out all the stuff for it. And then the guy was like, okay, and you're going to want to pick out a rat. And I was like, and that was, I knew what snakes ate, but that was the moment it hit home that I was about to buy a pet that I had to feed other pets to. And I was not okay with that. So I still got the cage, but I got a few different accessories and I went home with 2 rats instead of a snake. And that's how I ended up with rats. And they're the best pets ever. I love them. So watching a show called The Healing Power of Dude. Oh my God, I have to look and see what that even is. I'm disappointed I didn't get to start to deconstruct this one a little bit because it has, I know it's got different stuff inside it than this one. It has sort of a flannel kind of backing on it. I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan of that. I think I want to use, of course it's Tough Rider. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I think it might be hot, especially in this climate. I think I'm just going to do cotton, but we'll talk about that the next time we hit this on the live stream. So got our pattern pieces, deconstructing a saddle pad with all of our layers. And next time we're going to get more into figuring out exactly what you need of what fabrics, and doing all your calculations to make sure that you get the right amounts of all the things that you need to make your own saddle pad, whether it's a dragon wing one or an angel wing one or whatever. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, click those links down in the description box. Follow me on Instagram. Go check out the Extra Equestrians Facebook group. And come back next Wednesday night. I'm here every Wednesday night at 10 o'clock making stuff for my horses and for the people in my life that I love. So come hang out and make stuff with me. Let's see who else is in the chat. Love you, Taylor. Thank you for showing up tonight. Yes. And Brittany, thank you for being here. Tabitha, I love you so much. And we're going to hang out in person very, very, very soon. And Ellis, we had a bunch of people in the chat tonight. I love you guys. Oh, Madeline, I didn't even see you. Have you tried using a roll of brown paper, wrapping paper from the dollar store for pattern drafting? That's a great idea. We talked about earlier in the live stream before I go, using like a roll of butcher paper. So yeah, that's similar, like brown wrapping paper. But yeah, just like wrapping paper, that's a great idea. I may do that for the dragon wing one and see if that's an appropriate size. What I was using, because I like the lightweightness of it, is like newspaper, just packing newspaper from Walmart. Yeah, that's a great idea. Sorry, Madeline, I didn't even see that in there. Brown stuff for yours. Grounding eggs. So yes, thank you everybody for being here tonight. Get with me about Friday. Yes, do it. So I'll see you guys next time. And that's all for tonight. Now I have to clean my room because good night.